I'm going to introduce Gabi.
Mai întâi va introduce interpretul,
And
Gabi.
if you haven't guessed already, Gabi is our translator.
Dacă n-ați ghicit deja cine sunt.
And Gabi is going to translate things that we say, but actually when we show the documentation that we're going to show this evening, we're going to kind of leave that untranslated.
Eu voi traduce ce urmează să spună domnii, dar când vor fi prezentate imaginile, acelea vor rămâne fără traducere.
But we think you'll understand what's going on.
Dar credem că veți înțelege ce se întâmplă.
Now, I've heard that Romanians are quite shy.
Am auzit că românii sunt destul de timizi.
Is it true?
Este adevărat?
So there's already some divisions in the audience.
Deja părerile sunt împărțite.
But we can work with that.
Ei bine, merge și așa.
So my name is Simon and this is Sean.
Hello.
Numele meu este Simon, el este Sean.
And we are two members of a collective called Gob Squad.
Suntem doi membri ai unei trupe numite Gob Squad.
Has anyone ever heard of us?
Ați auzit de noi?
So there's some more divisions in the audience.
Din nou părerile sunt împărțite.
We're a collective and we're 25 years old.
Suntem o trupă de 25 de ani.
So maybe some of you are even younger than Gob Squad.
Poate unii dintre voi sunt chiar mai tineri decât Gob Squad.
We met in the 90s and our official beginning is 1994.
Noi ne-am întâlnit în anii 90, dar oficial ne-am unit în 1994.
And since then we've made about 40 different projects.
De atunci am realizat 40 de proiecte diferite.
In the beginning, we didn't work in theatres at all. We just actually worked outside of the theatre. We wanted to take art to the people.
La începutul lucram în afara teatrului, vroiam să aducem arta oamenilor, să o ducem către oameni.
So our very early works are in shopping centres, they're on the streets, they're in car parks and offices.
Deci la începuturi eram în parcări, eram în mall-uri sau centre comerciale și în clădiri de birouri.
But eventually the theatre came along and offered us some money and we were corrupted.
Dar în cele din urmă teatrul a venit în viața noastră, ne-a oferit niște bani și am fost corupți.
I think that might be all that you need to know, Sean, about Gob Squad. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean we work as a collective, and there's no director, or if you like, we're all directors, and we swap roles during the performances.
Cam atâta trebuie să știți despre Gob Squad. Noi lucrăm ca un grup, nu avem un regizor, dar fiecare dintre noi joacă rolul de regizor în diferite proiecte.
So the 7 people that you see here, we all direct and we all perform in the shows.
Cei 7 pe care îi vedeți pe ecran, toți sunt regizori și actori în spectacol.
So it just happens that the video we're showing tonight, I'm in it, but actually Simon also plays that role. So every time you see me, imagine it's him at the same time.
Iar videoul pe care o să vi-l arătăm în seara aceasta are și pe mine ca protagonist, dar rolul acela îl joacă și Simon. Prin urmare, trebuie să vă imaginați de fiecare dată când îl vedeți pe Sean că este Simon în rolul lui.
So what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be showing you and guiding you through a video about our project called Revolution Now, which we made in 2011.
În seara aceasta o să vă arătăm o proiecție a unui spectacol, Revolution Now, pe care l-am făcut în 2011.
So the video lasts an hour and 20 minutes.
Videoul durează o oră și 20 de minute.
We'll be stopping and starting every now and again to explain some inspiration or some decisions we made.
Vom opri din când în când filmulețul ca să vă explicăm anumite decizii pe care le-am luat sau de unde ne-am inspirat.
And after that, I hope we're all going to have a heated discussion about the topic of revolution, art, theatre and whatever.
Și mai apoi sper să avem o discuție aprinsă despre revoluție, artă, teatru și orice altceva.
Okay, should we get started with the first
Roll video.
We'll start
Îi dăm drumul?
the first bit.
Dim the lights.
Oh, you should know that so this actually happens in a theatre in London.
Trebuie să știți că lucrurile se întâmplă într-un teatru în Londra.
But it was originally made, as we will be explaining in more detail, for a theatre in Berlin.
Dar original a fost făcut pentru un teatru din Berlin.
So we'll now show you how it begins from the point of view of the audience waiting to come into the theatre.
Și acum o să vă arătăm cum începe și totul e din perspectiva publicului care așteaptă să intre în teatru.
Sorry, stop. Sharon, did you film the applause? It was really spontaneous.
Sorry.
Oh, it was so good.
Can you do it again, please?
Very nice. continuity-wise, because of the documentation. We're singing the last two verses, and then you're doing the applause as spontaneous as before, because it was so good.
Okay.
For the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing.
Image of Bastian. Bastian is the only member of the group who is a fully trained actor. He also went to Stoner School, which means he has some special skills, and these include sewing, knitting, gardening. He bakes his own bread. He plays the harp. He does fencing, but only as an amateur. Yeah. But anyway, all of these skills, they put Bastian in good stead to lead us towards the coming community.
This is revolution now.
Not yet, Sean, wait.
Actually, it's good that you say not yet, Sharon, because this is not the show. This is rehearsal. This is preparation.
Sean?
Yes?
This is revolution now.
Yes?
Yeah, I just want to get a picture of you for Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sean, vreau doar să-ți fac o poză pentru Instagram. Asta e
How do you want me?
revolution
Like looking busy or what?
I'd actually quite like you looking angry.
Cum par?
Angry.
Par ocupat?
It's
Nu, mai
okay,
degrabă
Sean,
furios.
but this is for
Furios.
Instagram. Tell me what makes you angry.
Ce te face furios? E pentru Instagram.
Oh, all kinds of things make me angry. But like yesterday, what really made me angry is that the first people I met here in Bucharest were two drunk English people falling into the apartment next to ours, drunk on a party weekend. And I just thought, is this what my country gives to this country? Drunk English people on a stag night. And it made me really pissed off.
Okay, hold that thought.
Multe
Show me.
lucruri mă fac furios, dar ieri singurii care m-au făcut furios au fost doi britanici, beți morți, care s-au prăbușit la ușa de lângă apartamentul meu și m-am întrebat, asta dă țara mea, lumii, britanici, beți?
Think about those Airbnb people, Sean. Think about those tourists.
Yes.
Gândește-te la turiști și la cei de la Airbnb.
Put it into your face.
Exprimă asta pe față.
Got it.
Gata, am surprins.
Yeah, it's good that you say, look, there I am. That's me
Iată-mă, acolo sunt
in
eu.
2011 in London doing the same thing, angry about something else.
În 2011,
And it's good that
furios, dar în legătură cu altceva.
it's good that you stopped me there, Simon, actually, because this isn't the show. This is a guided viewing of the documentation of one show filmed in London some years ago. And in the show, the idea is that we're trying to prepare for the revolution which is to come, right? Because we can sense it, can't we? That the world, the civilization is starting to collapse. It's already happening, right?
E bine că m-ai oprit, pentru că asta este o vizionare ghidată a unui show din 2011 și în show ne pregăteam pentru o revoluție. Dar, de fapt, noi nu trebuie să așteptăm ca civilizația noastră să se prăbușească și revoluția să vină. Deja se întâmplă.
Because sooner than you think, the uprising is coming, okay? And
Revolta vine.
we, all of us here, actually, we better work out whose side we're on and what exactly we want life to be like after the revolution.
Și cu toții ar trebui să ne decidem de partea cui suntem și cum vrem noi să fie viața după Revoluție.
I'm a revolutionary and I want change. And I'm not afraid to say that I actually haven't got a clue how to go about it.
Eu sunt un revoluționar și vreau schimbare și pot spune sincer că nici nu știu de unde să încep.
Do you want the pose again?
Yes,
Vrei din
please.
nou să pozezi? Da, te rog.
Oh, very good. I can see how you have no idea how to make a revolution, Sean.
Foarte bine. Deja se vede că n-ai nici cea mai vagă idee cum să faci o revoluție, Sean.
This is Sean,
Acesta este Sean,
who went to the Soviet Union with a peace play in 1989.
care a mers în Uniunea Sovietică cu o piesă de teatru despre pace
He went
în
with-
1989,
with a bunch of knitted hats that his mother made with peace logos on them.
s-a dus cu un teanc de căciuli tricotate de bunica lui cu semnul păcii pe ele
And 2 weeks later, the Berlin Wall came down.
și 2 săptămâni mai târziu a căzut zidul Berlinului.
So he really has the potential for change.
Deci chiar are potențial de schimbare.
Actually, Simon, I'd like to take a picture of you. Can you give me a revolutionary pose?
Simon, aș vrea să fac și eu o poză cu tine. Poți să pozezi a revoluționar?
Okay.
This is it.
This is Simon.
Acesta
Ok.
e Simon.
Simon is committed.
Simon și-a luat angajamentul să nu aibă copii niciodată și să nu polueze planeta cu suprapopulare.
He lives in a shared flat in Berlin and truly lives the concept of free love.
Locuiește într-un apartament închiriat cu mai mulți colegi de apartament și chiar trăiește sentimentul de amor liber.
Sharing is caring, right?
A împărtăși înseamnă a ține la ceva, nu? Sharing is caring.
Now, as Sean said, we made... Some people got it.
Unii au înțeles.
We made originally Revolution Now for a place called Volksbühne, which is a theatre on Rosa Luxemburg Platz.
Am făcut această piesă, Revolution Now, pentru un teatru, Volksbühne, care este situat în Rosa Luxemburg Platz, în piața Rosa Luxemburg.
And as I said, when we were first making work as a collective, we didn't make theatre, we rather made site-specific work.
Și atunci când lucram ca grup, ca un colectiv la aceste proiecte, le făceam să oglindească locul.
So one of the things that we started thinking about when we were making Revolution Now was the history of Rosa Luxemburg Platz and how the Volksbühne originally came into being.
Și atunci când am făcut Revolution Now, ne-am gândit foarte mult la ce ce istorie avea piața Rosa Luxemburg și cum a apărut teatrul Volksbühne.
We'll show you a couple of little video clips now, a few minutes each,
O să vă arătăm câteva videouri, câteva minute
which
fiecare,
explain the context quicker than we can in words.
care vor explica contextul mai bine decât putem noi în cuvinte.
Mitten in Berlin, dort wo sich die Straße unter den Linden Richtung Norden verliert, steht ein großes Theater an einem kleinen Platz. Ein Ort wie viele, könnte man meinen, aber es muss etwas Besonderes an ihm sein. Fünfmal in 100 Jahren wurde der Platz an der Volksbühne umbenannt. Lange Zeit war er die übelste Gegend Berlins, das Verbrecher-Eldorado, der Unruhebezirk Nummer 1. Hier wurde um große Ideen gerungen und um Leben und Tod gekämpft. Hier ging es um Weltanschauungen und Verbrechen, aber auch um Kunst, Kino und Theater. Heute heißt das Carré vor der Volksbühne Rosa-Luxemburg-Platz. Die Vergangenheit sieht man ihm nicht an. Nur manchmal kommen Geheimnisse aus seiner Vergangenheit ans Licht. Einige davon erzählt dieser Film.
Okay, so this is just a very quick intro to the square. Did everybody kind of get that?
Ați înțeles că este o succintă introducere a acelei pieți?
And now this next clip explains about the Volksbühne, which is a very unusual theatre because it was paid for by, well, it was a crowd-sourced theatre built 100 years ago.
Și acum va începe videoul cu istoria teatrului Volksbühne, un teatru plătit de comunitate pentru a fi construit în urmă cu 100 de ani.
Das Zentrum von Berlin wächst immer näher an die arme Leute-Gegend heran. 1900 endet die stolze Kaiser-Wilhelm-Straße direkt an der traurigen Hirtenstraße. Das Scheunenviertel, einst ein Lagerplatz für Heu und Stroh vor den Toren Berlins, wird zum Sanierungsfall. Die alten Scheunengassen werden abgerissen. Dort, wo die kleinen Häuschen standen, gabelt sich nun die Kaiser-Wilhelm-Straße zu einer Dreiecksfläche. Es ist die Grundgestalt des heutigen Rosa-Luxemburg-Platzes. Aber sein erster Name ist Babelsberger Platz. Berlin hat Großes mit ihm vor. Die Hauptstadt des Deutschen Kaiserreichs ist um die Jahrhundertwende nach London, New York und Paris die viertgrößte Stadt der Welt. Die U-Bahn wird gebaut, die Borsigwerke produzieren Lokomotiven. Berlin ist voller Menschen, die nach getaner Arbeit etwas erleben wollen. In der Zeit ohne Kino und Fernsehen bleibt aber nur Theater. Weil für einen Arbeiter der Eintritt teuer ist und die Stücke nicht unbedingt verständlich, entsteht die Idee, ein eigenes Theater zu bauen. Ein Haus für jedermann, eine Bühne fürs Volk. Der Verband Freier Volksbühnen gründet einen Baufonds. Innerhalb von 2 Jahren sammelt er 500.000 Mark. Aber das reicht noch nicht. Flugblätter werben um mehr Spenden. Errichtet werden soll das Volkskunsthaus auf dem brachliegenden Platz inmitten des alten Scheunenviertels. Die Idee kommt an. Pfennigweise spenden die Arbeiter. Im September 1913 ist Grundsteinlegung. 2,5 Millionen Mark sind zusammengekommen. Der preußische Staat gibt noch 2 Millionen dazu. Der ungarische Architekt Oskar Kaufmann baut das Theater. 2000 Menschen haben darin Platz.
So there it is.
So now, we said to Vlad before this presentation that we always like to get the technicians involved in anything that we do.
I-am spus lui Vlad înainte de prezentare că
As
îmi
if
place
by
să
magic.
implicăm tehnicienii în tot ce facem.
But as you may have noticed,
Poate ați observat,
we have a little sound problem.
avem o problemă de sunet.
So basically, this is the context that we're making our project in. In this Volksbühne, paid for by the workers, in Rosa-Luxemburg-Platz, which has seen fascists, communists, the whole history of the 20th century happening on this square.
Deci acesta este contextul în care ne desfășurăm proiectul în Volksbühne, în Rosa-Luxemburg-Platz, o piață care a văzut de toate, a văzut fasciști, comuniști și o întreagă istorie.
It's actually where I live.
Acolo locuiesc, de fapt.
And now it's full of tourists
Acum e plin de turiști
on electronic scooters,
pe trotinete electronice,
bit like
electrice,
outside here.
cum sunt și cele de afară.
And I've lived on Rosa-Luxemburg-Platz for 20 years.
Eu de 20 de ani locuiesc în Rosa-Luxemburg-Platz.
And as we speak, I am fighting a court case to stay in my home because of gentrification, because they want to put the rent up.
Și în momentul de față sunt în litigiu în tribunal pentru că vor să mărească chiria apartamentului în care locuiesc.
So basically, Rosa Luxemburg Platz is definitely a flashpoint which reflects the period of the time that we are in.
Și practic Rosa Luxemburg Platz este un centru ce reflectă vremurile în care trăim.
So in Revolution Now, we tell the audience that we have locked them into the theatre.
În Revolution Now spunem publicului că i-am încuiat în teatru.
And then we tell them that we're not going to leave the theatre until the outside world changes.
Apoi le spunem că nu o să ieșim din teatru până când nu se schimbă lumea de afară.
So it's a kind of a forced occupation, if you like.
Deci e un fel de ocupație forțată.
So I think hopefully now the sound will be better.
Sperăm că acum sunetul va fi de mai bună calitate.
I think we can go to.
And you'll see what happens next.
Și o să vedeți ce se întâmplă.
Forget illusion, because this camera is a portal into the real world.
Oh dear me.
Oh, Doamne.
It's good, isn't it? It's like
Try again. But is this?
Încercăm din nou?
Okay, let's go.
I think what Sean is trying to say is forget metaphors, forget illusion, because this camera is a portal into the real world. This camera transmits directly into a TV standing outside on the Mall, the street that leads directly to Trafalgar Square, a place where people voiced their dissent for centuries. And as soon as we start to broadcast and we open the connection, everything that happens in here will begin to make sense. Because this will cease to be a rehearsal. It will become reality.
This is an image of Johanna. Johanna is the only member of the group who comes from a very politically active family. Her parents wanted to call her Ulrika after the famous terrorist Ulrika Meinhof, but Johanna Freiberg is not a terrorist, she is a freedom fighter. And this is Gob Squad. We are a collective. Nobody is in charge. None of us are the boss. So feel free to project onto us.
I think what Sharon is trying to say here is that she knows that we know that you are lonely, and that's why you're here tonight. And that's why some of you even paid up to £15 to be here, to be part of something bigger than just you. Oh, sorry. What I'm trying to say is, when I was young, I never needed anyone. Making love was just for fun. Let's face it, those days are gone. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore. I don't wanna be all by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore.
Bastian, I've taken an image here of the spaces in between the people which are full of agoraphobia and probably loneliness. And I wonder what you're going to do about it.
I know, it seems absurd, but it's my task because I hate the masses. But I think Sharon is so right. we have to come closer. I mean, all these gaps, they have to disappear. And for some of you, I'm sure it's the biggest nightmare what they imagine what would happen tonight. And I think it would be good to just get it over and done with right now at the beginning. So I hate it, you hate it, so let's all stand up. Come on. Let's stand up. I mean, we have to do it. If we have to become in power, we have to do it. So, look at your neighbor. And if you don't know each other, introduce yourself. Say something nice. Yeah? And then say this horrible sentence. Say this sentence which you hate so much. Say, can I touch you? Yeah? Say, please, can I touch you? And then the neighbor says the even worse sentence. The most embarrassing sentence says, yes, I want to be touched. Yeah? And now we touch each other. So let this aisle disappear. Grab over. Touch the other one on the aisle here. This big gap has to disappear. You touch this woman and you touch Sean. And you're touching me. And then step forward.
I've taken an image of the space getting closer together. I can no longer tell where one person is ending and another one is beginning. I think we're all starting to blur into one big massive love power.
Let's open.
Yeah. I think this is the moment where we should open the broadcast. It's perfect. Just hold on to that beautifulness and to look as convinced as you can be, because we open the broadcast in 10 seconds. Everyone, take your positions now.
Run, Johanna.
Hello, taxi.
Hello, the Mall. Hello, London. Hello, Britain.
Hello. Hello, people. Hello. Hello, world.
This is Gob Squad Underground speaking. A new temporary collective. We have occupied this building, and we'd like you to know that we're not coming out until things out there have started to change. Until the people of the world sit up and listen to us. I now pass the word to my friend the poet, who has prepared a few words.
Now listen. It must be for somebody. Stars are set gleaming. Somebody who longs for one star, at least, over the rooftops to come alight.
Thank you to our poet. We are tired and emotional. Some of us have not slept for many nights to arrive here in this moment. And we have things to say.
Yes. This is the point where we wanted to tell our manifesto.
Say it. No, we said explicitly. don't want a manifesto shown. We talked about it.
Okay, then a vision. Someone needs a clear
vision is okay.
A clear vision.
Okay, I see it like this. First, it's just a TV on the street, and people don't really recognize what's going on. They might think it's just an advert, but it just needs one person, like this man, somebody, to stop and listen. Somebody who takes out their mobile phone and brings home. And then somebody in Clapton takes off the apron and takes out the ready meal of the microwave and into the bin. Somebody tells the children, and the children look up from their Nintendo Wii and without talking about it, they just delete their high scores. And they run out into the Springfield Park and they tell their friends and footballs get kicked aside as a small crowd gathers and they begin to march. And the news spread quickly, and in St. James Park, the park keeper, they start digging up the grass and they plant vegetables for everybody to harvest. Meanwhile, some of the marching people have stormed the Swarovski shop, grabbing hold of some crystal poodles, maybe to be used as weapons later. 100 homeless people have got wind of the events and they climb the gate of the Buckingham Palace, ready to claim a bedroom each. On Regent Street, the shop assistants in their Apple store started to give out iPads for free because they try to keep up with the new times, and they get confused because in the new light, people don't really, they're not so bothered anymore about owning one. All it takes is just this man, just somebody stopping. Where has he gone? Maybe he already called. He's the seed. Or maybe it's that woman with that shopping bag. Somehow towards us. She stopped. See, she stopped.
Okay. So, as you can see, we have started to broadcast to the outside world.
După cum vedeți, am început să transmitem imagini către lumea de afară.
And we're also quoting quite a lot of images and ideas from well-known revolutions.
Și cităm multe imagini și idei din revoluții binecunoscute.
And actually the gathering of the audience there and the first, what we call the first broadcast, is quoting a particular revolution that some of you in this room might remember.
S-a strâns public acolo și au început să citeze dintr-o anume revoluție, dintr-o anumită revoluție pe care unii dintre dumneavoastră s-ar putea să-și o mai amintească.
So at this point we're going to show you this, which probably a lot of you have seen already.
Și acum vă vom arăta aceste imagini pe care mulți dintre dumneavoastră probabil că le-ați văzut deja.
Armata română a trecut de partea noastră. patriei noastre, de orice naționalitate, iubitori acestui pământ, ofițeri, soldați ai Ministerului de Interne.
Nu știți politică, iubitule! Programata de partea noastră nu înseamnă că și guvernul de partea noastră. Regulile s-au orientat la bază! Nu luați lucrurile în joacă, faptul că sunteți aici nu se
apelăm la ei! Apelăm la toți cetățenii!
Trebuie să le dai program!
Alăturați-vă eroicului!
Bun, e regulă. Faci primul anunț și eu pot anunț programul.
Eroic, poporul meu!
Urmează proclamația și programul.
Orice moment e foarte important. Liniște puțin! Liniște puțin! Eroic, poporul meu! Liniște puțin! Liniște puțin! În clipa în care intrăm în emisie, 23 de milioane de oameni sunt cu urechile pe voi. Nu mai scoate nimeni niciun cuvânt. Faceți primul anunț! Primul anunț! După care Mircea Dinescu. Care lucrează la proclamație. După care se va redacta proclamația. Dați prin planul Mircea Dinescu. După aceea, se face pauză.
Sunteți gata?
După primul anunț, se face pauză. Este un sfert de oră. Anunțul! Liniște! Liniște! Anunțul! După care pauză. Liniște!
Mircea, te prezint și tu spui, arăți că lucrezi. La un apel.
Să înceapă caramelul să cunoaște lumea.
Da, corect.
Liniște!
Atențiune, vă rog! Peste 5 secunde intră în emisie. 5, 4, ne controlăm, 3, 2...
Fraților, mulțumită lui Dumnezeu, ne aflăm în studiourile televiziunii. Am reușit să ajungem aici, în spatele tancurilor, cu armată și cu studențime și cu oamenii care îi vedeți și cu mii și mii de români și de alte naționalități care ne-au condus. În fața dumneavoastră se află eroul nostru, Mircea Dinescu, poetul. Vă rog să-l priviți. El lucrează, vă va spune despre ce este vorba. Suntem emoționați, obosiți și dorim ca tot poporul român, de orice naționalitate, care a luptat cu arma în mână, în sensul că au avut în suflet acea suflare divină a lui Dumnezeu și a răbdării poporului român, care în sfârșit s-a rupt, să putem asculta cuvintele lui Mircea Dinescu, care vor fi purtătoarea genului românesc peste timp. Noi lucrăm, iată-l pe Mircea Dinescu care să vă spună. Spune ce faci.
Peste 10 minute vom da un apel către populație. Vă rog să vă păstrați calmul. Sunt momente în care Dumnezeu și-a întors fața către români. Să ne uităm către Dumnezeu câteva minute înainte de a vă vorbi. Înainte de asta apelăm la toate forțele ale armatei noastre. Armata în București cu noi. Dictatorul a fugit. Facem un apel către Ministerul Forțelor de Interne să depună armele, să intre în cazarmă. Poporul e cu noi. Peste 5 minute vom face un apel către toată suflarea română, către eroicul popor român.
Victorios!
Victorios! Am învins! Am învins!
I'm very curious to hear later about how you view that and how that is for you to sit here and watch it. For us, it was very inspiring to to see a revolution which was televised in this way, and how people react when they have control of the camera, but maybe don't have a complete scripted, organised plan what to say and what to do. And this is very much Sorry?
Sunt curios mai târziu să aflu părerea dumneavoastră, cum vi s-a părut. Eu am fost inspirat de această revoluție televizată și de modul în care se comportă oamenii atunci când sunt puși în fața camerelor de filmat.
So, back to our broadcast, we have the camera open to the street, and we are trying, through the power of our images, our words and our songs, trying to get people to stop and join us.
Întorcându-ne la transmisiunea noastră din stradă, am vrut să vedem cum reacționează oamenii la imaginile transmise de noi, la cuvintele noastre.
What is and exactly clear. That's it. Let's make some more images.
There's a man with a gun over there. Telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. What's that sound? Everybody let's go down.
This is an image. It's called The Lights Are Going Out and the Walls Are Tumbling Down.
Hello world, this is Gob Squad Underground. We've taken over this building and we've got vodka in here. Just interested.
Could you show me some symbols?
It's time we stop. What's that sound? Everybody knows what's going down.
This is an image, it's called I didn't go to work today, I don't think I'll go tomorrow. Let's take control of our lives and live for pleasure, not pain.
What a field day for the heat.
Pleasure is what it's all about in here. It's incredible. Strangers, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, all those labels, they don't really matter anymore. They're not important. They belong to the old world.
What's that sound? Everybody knows what's going down.
This is an image. It's called Make Sure You Know About Marxism Before You Build an Image About Marxism.
Something happening here.
See, that's the thing, no one's an expert in here, but we're learning from each other. We've got the shared skills and knowledge of 100 people. And we're sharing it out. It's like a university without having to study.
What's that sound? Everybody knows what's going down.
This is an image. It's called If You Want to Make an Omelette, You've Got to Break Some Eggs.
What a field day for the heat.
We're ready to break those eggs, actually, minute by minute, hour by hour. We are getting more and more militant. We are the hardcore they always talk about. It's us in here. Hello, hello.
What's that sound? Everybody knows what's going down.
This is an image. It's called Stop. Stop, for God's sake.
Actually,
stop.
Yeah, we can stop. You can stop, Masha. Actually, we can all just stop, and you, out there, world, you can stop as well. Okay? This is coming to you. This message is coming to you live from the building next to you. The Institute of Contemporary Arts has been taken over. This is a live transmission, and man with shopping bag, I am talking to you. And woman with large handbag, I'm talking to you as well. You see, we are in here and we are not coming out until the world out there has started to show a change. Okay? Am I getting across here? You see, there's... Hello, woman with boots bag. Hello, stripy t-shirts. You can stop playing the game. That's what we're doing. I'm here to tell you, you can stop playing the game. You taxis, you can just switch off the meter, because from now on, let's just try and experiment. Hello, hi, great, thumbs up. Hello, yes, come back. Hello, man with eyes, t-shirt. Hello, you can stop playing the game as well. You can stop doing that. You know, you don't have to check your Facebook account anymore. You don't have to go to the gym and work out. All that belongs to yesterday. Do you see what I mean? Are you with me? Am I getting across here? And you three people in the background, you man.
Sean, look like you're working.
He's with you. That's great. No. Hello.
Sean, you've got to work harder. What about...
He said I'm with you, he said.
Yes. Hello. Young man with yellow piece of paper. You can stop playing the game as well. You don't have to follow instructions. You don't have to...
Sean, have you stopped playing the game?
I don't know. I'm trying.
How do you stop playing the game?
I don't know, but I'd like to try. And I don't even know if it's really... Oh, hi! Hi!
There's love already.
Love. This is coming to you with love.
Yeah, look, we need a bit of strategy, Sean.
Yeah, I'm getting through. Yeah, my heart as well. What?
Make her look beautiful. What are you doing, Sharon?
I'm completely turning my back.
Why?
On everyone.
Why? Now they are.
Because that will make them curious, you see, Bastian. It will make them wonder, who's that girl? Who's she with? Who are those people? What have they got in common?
Sharon, you
And
have
what
to...
they don't know is that we haven't got anything in common. That's what makes us so powerful.
They want you to stand up.
No, I'm not getting my best out for the revolution. Hi. Are you feeling good out there? Give me a sign that says you're feeling good. Excellent. Can I ask you, are we making an impact? Are we sending out a good message and creating any kind of change out there in the street? I need a sign. I can't hear you. No, you need...
Can someone do lip reading?
Yeah, if we're making a change, maybe you could dance around or show me something physical. No, wait, no, don't go. I want to know if you're together. Do you feel together? Are you together? Are you close? Are you part of something bigger than just yourselves? Is...
We have an impact! We have an impact!
No. We need some images. We need stronger images. We can... Maybe I could get... I can't... Bend down. A little bit lower.
Sharon, don't forget we're trying to provoke a revolution, not have a love-in. Okay?
You're completely right.
Maybe as close as I can get. I don't know how to get any closer.
Sharon, we have to... I think we have to send us images, not of this kitschy love thing. Let's do something more radical. Come on, let me do it. They just want to flirt with you, that's all. Come on, let's show them how it really is, a revolution. It's not funny. It takes a while.
not always nice, you know.
Sebastian, I've got some.
We haven't talked about this.
Let's stop the broadcast. I think we need to talk. Stop it. Cut it now.
Deci am ajuns cam la jumătatea prezentării noastre și avem un ostatic din public și un membru din colectiv spune stop, trebuie să ne oprim aici, să vedem cum continuăm cu transmisiunea de imagini.
We, in Gob Squad, we always play ourselves. We never play a character. I'm always Sean, Simon's always Simon. We're always ourselves.
La Gob Squad noi ne jucăm propriul rol. Noi suntem noi înșine. Eu sunt Sean, el e Simon. Întotdeauna suntem noi.
And in this section, we ask each other, who are you really? You say you want a revolution, but what are your revolutionary credentials?
Și în secțiunea asta ne întrebăm cine suntem și de ce spunem că vrem o revoluție.
We say, whose side are you on?
De partea cui ești?
Tell me one revolutionary thing you've done this year.
Spune-mi ceva revoluționar ce ai făcut anul ăsta.
Are you good or are you evil?
Ești bun sau ești rău?
Are you one of the masses or one of the elite?
Ești parte din masă sau din elită?
Now, of course, these are difficult, kind of impossible questions.
Sunt întrebări dificile, aproape imposibil de răspuns la ele.
But nevertheless, we ask them to each other because we think this is kind of the heart of the matter, considering revolution in these times.
Cu toate acestea ni le adresăm pentru că ele sunt chintesența acestor vremuri revoluționare.
Or any kind of change. You know, are you the problem or are you the solution?
Sau a schimbării. Și întrebăm, ești problemă sau parte din soluție?
So this is what we're doing in this section.
Asta facem noi în această secțiune.
And we're just going to skip over a little bit.
O să sărim puțin.
And we're going to see the final questioning before well, you'll see what happens next.
Și o să ajungem la ultimele întrebări și o să vedeți ce urmează.
Reasons why you're one of us.
I am very good I'm very organized. I'm very good in writing lists and remembering things, and I think that can be useful, I hope. And well, I spent lots of my childhood and youth writing letters to dictators of the world, asking for asking about people that disappeared and kind of making...
Writing letters isn't very confrontational, is it?
No. I mean, I even used paper with butterflies on, letter. I was only 12, but,
What are you willing to sacrifice for the cause?
Well, that's the point. I mean, so far I haven't really I don't really believe in sacrifices as such, you know. I don't think...
You don't believe in change?
Yes, I do believe in change, theoretically. I just have never experienced it myself.
Is it because you're scared of people?
I think it's pretty obvious what we need to do, and maybe I could be the one doing it. One of us has to go out and speak to the people face to face, directly, so that they can speak back to us. And maybe that person could be me. I have to say I'm a little nervous about it because they might just laugh in my face. And I'm not very good with people generally, you know. I'm not so chatty, I like doing things via email. But we should try one more time, so please prepare for another broadcast. I mean, just look at us. We are just chasing our own tails. We got consumed in our own rhetoric, and it's about time that someone does something, because there is no revolution without the people. And even though I might get lost out there, and I might in fact like it and just settle down in the world as it is, but I will go out. Sharon, would you come with me?
Okay. So, what hopefully most of you have understood there is that Johanna has admitted that she's never experienced change before, but believes that actually in order for revolution to happen, for change to happen, she needs to go out and talk directly to the people.
Ce ați înțeles, cred, din filmare este că Johanna nu a mai experimentat schimbarea până acum, dar ca o revoluție să aibă loc, ea trebuie să iasă în lume, să vorbească cu lumea.
And then this next section of the performance, it can last anything from 15 minutes to an hour and a half.
Secțiunea următoare a spectacolului poate dura între 15 minute și o oră și jumătate.
And when you watch it, you will realize why, because Johanna is out there and she is searching for the people.
Când veți urmări, o să înțelegeți de ce, pentru că Johanna a ieșit și caută oamenii.
Maybe I'll just put it down for the moment.
Put it down and gather your strength.
I think we might be picking up in terms of people, so I think we should get going. Johanna, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody in there, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, action!
Hello, good evening. May I ask you where you're going? Back to the station? Where do you want to go to?
Home.
Could I maybe convince you to take another direction? Even if it's for a higher aim?
My higher aim is to catch a train.
The people want to catch a train!
Is that a command, Johanna? Demand. So
A demand? I'm not sure. I guess so.
Write it down, okay?
Now everyone's disappeared. Totally disappeared. It's really spooky. It's actually less real out here than I expected. I think I might have to cross the road.
Oh, don't do that, Johanna. You always look to the wrong side.
Excuse me, may I ask you something? Where are you going?
I haven't decided yet, sir.
You haven't decided. Would you maybe consider talking to me instead of killing yourself on the road? She seems to be really scared. The people are scared.
The people want freedom from fear. Okay.
Hello. May I ask you where you're going?
Don't know.
Just going for a stroll?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Chester.
Chester. May I ask you how you're called?
What am I called? Liz.
Liz. I'm Johanna. Pleased to meet you. The people are called Liz. Liz, can I ask you something important? Would you maybe mind stopping just for a second to talk to me about the way the world is right now?
I can't, sorry.
You can't? Have you ever thought about the way things are in the world at all? I mean, are you worried about it maybe?
Not at the moment.
No, not at the moment. Are you just happy in your own life?
Johanna, I can't keep her in my view. She's working really hard. She's moving away now. I think she's slightly intimidating the people. No, let's listen.
Will she go home with Liz?
Okay, well, I see you don't want to talk to me.
This is quite desperate to get away from Johanna.
Is she coming back?
Yes. Johanna.
Excuse me. Where are you going? Could I maybe convince you to park, to get out of this taxi and take a different step?
I would love to do it, but today is just not quite the right day.
If I tell you it's for the revolution?
That would be very interesting, but I don't believe in revolutions.
Why not?
Slow, gradual, rational change. Revolutions, in principle, there's some good ideas about it, but I like a more reasoned approach to things.
But what if you need change to happen quickly?
You still have to reason, unfortunately, even if you feel like it has to be.
Okay. The people are going to Charing Cross Station.
Maybe you need to try a different tack, like laugh a bit more, take your hair down.
Okay, well, hello, excuse me, where are you going?
Going to have dinner.
Going to have dinner together, how lovely. Can I just ask you about the state of the world? It seems that, personally, you're kind of happy, is that right? You seem kind of...
We're very happy.
And outside...
Yes, we're very happy.
That's good to hear. Do you think about the state of the world? Do you think... It's great. So everything... Even outside of I mean, are you actually thinking in categories like outside of myself? Like, I mean, I'm just asking because it could be that you're part of a movement.
No, I don't really care about anything apart from myself, right?
I mean, it's the way we operate, but it's very self-centered.
It could be. I mean, it could be
quite self-centered.
Quite self-centered. Sorry, I didn't mean it that harsh. I mean, it could be like part of a movement or a sports club maybe, or
just it's all about me really.
A family maybe at least.
Not so much.
Just yourself. You're autonomous. You're an autonomous individual. Okay. Well, enjoy your dinner. Excuse me. Are you on the way to the revolution? Where are you going instead?
We're walking to Buckingham Palace.
To Buckingham Palace. Oh, that's perfect. I mean, it sounds like you want to start a revolution. Would you actually turn the other way and talk to me a little bit? Where are you from?
Yorkshire.
And what's your name?
Richard.
Richard. Nice to meet you. My name is Johanna, and I'm here because I'm hoping that the time is right for change in this world, for a revolution, in fact. What do you think about that?
I don't think I'm ready for revolution.
No? Why not?
Because I think everything's all right as we are.
Really? You're totally content with the way things are. Is that just because of your personal life, or because of the state of this country or the world, or?
No, I think probably state, yeah, personal life.
Your personal life. So you feel like you're kind of an autonomous person?
No, not really, no.
Are you part of something bigger outside of yourself? Because that's actually what we're trying to create here in this, you know, we're trying to work towards the new togetherness, even though you and I probably don't share the same religious belief or not even a political slogan maybe, that nevertheless I want to kind of be able to be part of something bigger than myself. Can you somehow identify with that feeling, or you don't have that desire?
No.
Okay, well, the people want to be by themselves. The people don't want community.
We have written that down, Johanna, as part of the manifesto, isn't it? So where's he gone?
He disappeared.
I prepared a poster.
Richard's disappeared.
Well, Johanna, you seem to get lost in the...
Johanna, don't worry. I'm sure there will be another Richard along in a minute.
Well, I'm not sure about the Richards.
Take strength from the flag.
To behave more desperately.
Let the flag guide you. Find your inner strength. Use the force.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're going to find the people.
I mean, it's hard to believe all these, you know, these reasons that are given, because this street is leading up to Trafalgar Square, and even though might have been some time ago that people gathering on that place really did make change happen. I mean, they gathered again and again throughout time and in organized chaos, all in the name of change. And, you know, demonstrations were held there and even murders committed just to make change possible. And now I feel like I'm here in this sea of individuals not even believing in the need of change anymore. And I'm just lonely in a crowd. Maybe I have to start talking to the ghosts from the past.
Johanna.
Okay, there's someone.
Johanna,
someone behind you looking at you.
Look, there's a man on a bike. He's interested.
Hello? Good evening. Are you interested in a revolution? Are you, sorry, I didn't want to scare you. Are you interested in... am I scary?
A little bit.
Why? What's scary about me?
Take this coat off your head.
Actually, Johanna, that's right. It's the coat.
It's the coat. Take it off.
Completely weird.
Yeah, you look like a little... Take the coat off.
The coat?
Yes, it is the coat.
Okay.
Cloak.
Johanna, you're doing really brilliantly. We just
I'm
need to give it one more push. Look, there's a guy coming along here. Look, straight ahead. You can do it. Just think. Sexy, light.
I can't
It's a
do that.
Saturday night.
Where is she?
Hello. Hi, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You going out?
Yeah, I'm a French student, first day here, so...
Oh my God,
Friends,
that's perfect.
they know about revolution, don't they? I was told today that the people in London, they're not the right people to start a revolution. Maybe a French person is the right person to start a revolution in 2010 in London.
What kind of revolution do you want to start?
Can I show you something? What's your name?
Guillaume William.
I can speak a little French. Guillaume. My name is Johanna. Very nice to meet you. It's actually like Jeanne d'Arc, you know. Guillaume, I'm here on behalf of a group of people. Quite a few people who have locked themselves inside this building for some time. They actually I think they might, some of them probably already suffocated because it's really hot in there. It's the Institute of Contemporary Arts, and they lock themselves inside because they want the people of the world to listen to them. Because we are hoping, we are hoping for that's the message for you from inside, and we are hoping that change is possible. I mean, I've been talking to many people who didn't want change to happen. They're really happy with themselves and the way things are in their lives and in the world. And lots of them also don't want to be part of something bigger, while we are trying to establish a new togetherness. And I mean, are you happy with the way things are in the world?
In the world, I don't know, but in France, I can speak of France. I'm not, and I think President Sarkozy is trying to make things change, and there are a lot of things to do. The culture is really thriving, but a lot of people are unhappy about the way things are, but still don't want things to change. So it's kind of paradoxical, and we are out of the World Cup. Out of the World Cup. But actually, I'm doing an internship right now in Germany, so I don't know which one of England or Germany I should be a supporter of.
The people obviously are totally into football, and they have a very cute little accent.
Johanna, are the people ready to receive the message? I think that
Guillaume, I've been wasting a lot of
people.
Time out here, so I really want to come to the point. Do you think there is need for a revolution in 2010?
Yes, I do.
Good. I think we found the people to prepare for the most important broadcast of all. And don't get it wrong, because you have to still convince Guillaume to go further. So, I cut the broadcast.
Okay, great.
So now what we're going to do is just fast forward a little bit, because we want to have some talk with you at the end of this.
Acum o să dăm rapid înainte, pentru că la final vreau să discutăm puțin cu voi.
But now we have found the people, as you see.
Am găsit poporul, așa cum vedeți. Am găsit
Hello. Bonsoir. We are the revolutionaries, and we're sending a message to you, the people. Because recently we've lost touch with each other, and this is about re-establishing that contact. Things haven't been going so well for you, people. You feel sick. Don't you? You feel sick. So sick of all the people trying to tell you what you can and can't do with your life. And I feel tired. So tired of all the people in all the high places who don't want you and me to enjoy ourselves. Well, it's time to tell those people who sit on their asses that
on fire. Are you on fire?
I am.
Whoa! I did that!
Fantastic. Now, Guillaume.
Yeah?
We need to believe in you. We need to project on you. You are our sign of hope. Can you give me a look into the camera which shows that you are determined? Give us your best determined face. Very good. Can you hold it a little bit longer, please, for the camera? That was excellent. Good. Now, did you ever hear that expression? Maybe, I don't know what it would be in French, and I'm not going to try and translate it now, but did you ever hear that expression? The revolution is not an apple that falls when it is ripe. You have to make it drop.
No.
What I'd like
Translate it.
Oh. Translate it. You speak French. La révolution
n'est pas une pomme qui va tomber si...
Quand elle est mûre.
Oh, il y a quelqu'un qui va...
Okay, wait, getting it translated. Stand by, Guillaume. Translation coming.
Qui va tomber quand elle est mûre, il faut la faire tomber.
Encore une fois?
La révolution n'est pas une pomme qui va tomber quand elle est mûre, il faut la faire tomber.
Okay, Guillaume, so now you understand the sense of it. I would like you to look into the camera and please say after me. The revolution is not an apple.
The revolution is not an apple.
Which falls when it is ripe.
Which forms when it is ripe.
You have to make it drop.
You have to make it drop.
That's right, and now is the moment when you have to make it drop. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I am ready.
Okay, the time for words is over, and now it's time for action. If you'd like to follow me, the people. I'm going to introduce you here to Craig. He is our health and safety officer. Craig, the people Craig. Could I please have the bottle? Thank you. If you'd like to stay with the people. This is a bottle of champagne. It's just like any ordinary bottle of champagne that you might find anywhere in any shop in London, probably one of those slightly cheaper shops. And tonight we're not going to ask the people to drink this in some bourgeois celebration of his own material successes and excesses. Tonight we're going to ask the people to smash this bottle in a symbolic act of rebellion. We have to do this, of course, under very strict health and safety measures. If you can imagine the revolution, if you can revolutionize your imagination, then surely reality cannot resist. So I need everybody in there to focus and project. Johanna, are you ready on camera? Health and safety, are we ready? The people, give us a sign that lets me know that you're ready. The people are so ready. All right, on my count, everybody. 3, 2, 1, go!
Here we go again. I thought that you were my friend. Here we go again. I thought that you were my friend. How does it feel to be loved? How does it feel to be loved? How does it feel to be loved? How does it feel to be loved?
This is to you. You might be a total random collective tonight, but you've been the best random contemporary temporary collective tonight. Thank you.
Here's to the people who gave us hope for a revolution in 2010. To you, the people. To be loved. How does it feel to be loved? How does it feel to be loved? How does it feel to be loved?
Thank you very much. You're welcome to join us for a shot of vodka and come and...
So, at this point, we invite the audience to join us on stage and to meet the people, to verify that they really are real people, because they're not planted.
Deci acum invităm publicul să vină pe scenă, să vadă că poporul este real, nu este implantat acolo.
And we all drink some vodka.
Și comandăm vodka.
Of course.
Bineînțeles.
So that's revolution now, and I hope, despite the strange plug here, that you managed to follow it. It's still, the last time it was performed was about 2 years ago, and it's one of those shows. A lot of shows that we do, one of the questions that people ask us after the show is, because a lot of them are improvised structures and a lot of them involve people from the city. And one of the questions we often get asked is, how much does the show change from one city to another, from one country, from one culture to another?
Deci acesta este Revolution Now, sper că ați putut să-l urmăriți în ciuda problemelor tehnice. Ultima dată când a fost prezentat acest spectacol a fost în urmă cu 2 ani, iar după spectacol, deoarece avem multe bucăți de improvizație, după spectacol cel mai adesea ni se adresează întrebarea cât de mult se schimbă un spectacol de la o reprezentație la alta, de la o țară la alta, de la o cultură la alta.
And our answer is that it changes a lot from different cultures, from places like Italy and Brazil, which are very the times that we performed it there were very the audiences that we were performing it in front of were very thirsty for political change. And then of course it's somewhere very different when you perform it in somewhere like Norway, for example.
Și răspunsul e că se schimbă mult. Când am prezentat spectacolul în Italia, în Brazilia, publicul era foarte însetat de teme politice, dar situația e total diferită într-o țară ca Norvegia.
Now, sadly, we've never performed it in Romania.
Din păcate nu l-am pus în scenă niciodată în România.
Perhaps this is the time now where we could just bring a little bit of light up
Poate acum putem
on the real people. Hello.
Punem lumina și pe popor.
And yeah, first, I mean, do you have any questions? If you're shy to speak English, you're very welcome to speak your Romanian, and we can get a translation. But from the viewing, is there something that you want to ask?
Aveți întrebări? Puteți să le adresați și în limba română dacă sunteți
something you want to share?
Există ceva anume ce vreți să întrebați după vizionare sau ceva ce vreți să împărtășiți cu noi?
Just to be clear, we also have, personally as artists, we also have a lot of questions about this show that we made.
Și noi ca artiști avem multe întrebări legate de spectacolul acesta pe care l-am făcut.
I know that you're shy, but don't be shy.
Înțeleg că sunteți timizi, dar să nu fiți.
Yes.
How many people you manage to gather the most on the streets? Where and when?
Yes. How many people did you manage to gather on the street when you sent the largest number of people you managed to gather? Care este numărul cel mai mare de oameni pe care ați reușit să-i adunați pe stradă?
I mean, I think in this version, there's been versions where it's gone on and on and on in the second half, and you know, we have various plans for what happens when it goes past 15 minutes, when it goes past half an hour, when it goes past 45 minutes, and when it gets really long, because potentially the performance could go on forever without finding somebody. So you see here, I mean, Johanna, she spoke to about...
Au existat versiuni diferite în care a doua jumătate s-a derulat la nesfârșit și întotdeauna ne-am gândit ce să facem dacă ține 15 minute sau 30 sau 45 și așa mai departe.
Probably the most people we had was in Italy recently. There was someone who was phoning up his friends to come down and be on the street for the broadcast.
În Italia cred că am avut cei mai mulți, pentru că era cineva care suna prietenii să vină pe stradă pentru această transmisiune.
For us, it's always the interesting point. We ask this kind of ridiculous question: are you on the way to the revolution?
Noi punem întrebări stupide precum te îndrepți către o revoluție?
And you know, it's fascinating the answers you get back, because some people are, you know, what revolution, and then some people want to persuade you for 10 minutes as to their particular political way of seeing the world.
Și răspunsurile sunt fascinante. Sunt oameni care întreabă care revoluție și alții care stau și încearcă să te convingă, să-ți explice viziunile lor politice.
And although there's a place in the show for talk about concrete political solutions and parties and policies, if that comes up,
și deși există o secțiune în spectacol în care se discută despre soluții politice, partide,
what we keep coming back to in the theatre and on the street is this idea of we're all in some way lonely, and we need each other, and you know, we want to be part of something bigger, or do you? And this idea of starting at the very basic level, human togetherness. That's why we come here tonight. And where can we go from there? We give as much space to that as to talking about concrete politics.
Și în teatru și pe stradă apare adeseori ideea de singurătate și cât de singuri ne simțim și că dorim să stăm împreună. Prin urmare, noi dedicăm o parte din spectacol și discuțiilor despre această temă, precum dedicăm o parte din spectacol discuțiilor pe teme politice.
Although I think it's useful to see the show as a container for all kinds of debate and whatever people bring to it.
Este util să vedem spectacolul ca un recipient, ca pe o platformă care adună idei.
Any other questions?
Alte întrebări? Ar fi util să explicați procesul de lucru, pentru că este foarte diferit de ceea ce se întâmplă aici la noi și dacă ați putea să explicați pas cu pas ce faceți concret.
So I think at the very beginning of the evening I said that Gob Squad, when we first began, we began by making site-specific work. So that meant that we would go to somewhere like a railway station and we would look at the railway station and ask ourselves, what is this place about? What happens here? What is this space? What could you do in this space? Which is a very, very different approach than a theatre approach, which usually starts with a text. Gob Squad in the beginning started with a place, and to a certain extent, even though we moved into theatre, we never begin with a text. We often start with either a place or even a kind of technical container and a setup, and that is usually the very, very first building block.
La începutul serii am spus că am început cu spectacole specifice locației în care le cream. De exemplu, mergeam la o gară și ne întrebam ce e gara aceasta, ce e locul acesta, ce ai putea face aici. Teatrul clasic de obicei începe cu un text, de la un text. Gob Squad începe cu un log, nu cu un text, ori un log, ori un conținător de idei.
And to a certain extent, we don't think of ourselves as theatre. I think we are more close to performance art in terms of we not so the text is a kind of everyday text, and it's more about a kind of playing around, playing games, improvising, and the first half of a rehearsal process will just be people bringing in ideas of games to play and maybe visual ideas, musical ideas, building blocks which even in the very first place they might not even relate to a central concept. So in the first half of the rehearsal it's a very open process.
Și noi nu ne vedem ca un teatru, ci mai degrabă ca artele spectacolului. Textul cu care lucrăm noi este unul de zi cu zi, improvizăm, ne jucăm, Iar la repetiții oamenii aduc idei, jocuri, imagini vizuale. Sunt toate ca niște cărămizi care în prima jumătate a primei repetiții construiesc. Uneori parcă nici nu au legătură unele cu altele.
And then at some point we'll think, okay, now we need to bring this material together and make an arrangement with it. We have to leave some things behind, which often become whole other shows in themselves, and we try to arrange and thread these games, these visual ideas and these material together into some sort of journey for which an audience can travel through. So in that respect, there's a kind of dramaturgical arrangement going on.
Iar apoi adunăm materialele și facem aranjamente, lăsăm anumite lucruri la o parte, acele lucruri uneori se dezvoltă în alte spectacole și toată aceasta este o trasare a unei călătorii în care va porni publicul și acesta este aranjamentul dramaturgic.
And there's never a director. Everybody is constantly going in and out and exchanging from a viewing role in which they kind of become directors and a doing role in which they are performers. But this is all the way through the process, constantly switching.
Și nu există regizor, oamenii își schimbă rolul și uneori își asumă rol de spectator și oarecum regizor, iar apoi intră în spectacol și încep să facă acțiunea.
I'd like to ask a question. Was really fascinated by the reaction and the laughter in the room, looking at the footage from 30 years ago when they took over the TV station.
Sunt fascinat de reacția oamenilor la imaginile de acum 30 de ani când s-a ocupat televiziunea română.
I'd like to understand where the laughter comes from. Is it a nostalgic laughter or is it about
Și aș vrea să știu de unde vine râsul. E un râs nostalgic sau
Tell us.
ne spuneți?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very funny, ridiculous. It seems to us that maybe by then it felt more dramatic, but now you see that everything is staged and it's like a comedy show.
Pe vremea aceea poate era mai dramatic, dar acum se vede că totul a fost pus în scenă.
Does everyone know that footage? Is it familiar to everybody?
Toată lumea cunoaște acele imagini?
So it's part of the contemporary Romanian story, if you
Deci
like.
face parte din peisajul contemporan românesc.
Yeah, but I also think that it was also funny because you kind of like fast forward it a little bit, so it was not like a normal pace.
Yes, this was a YouTube downloading error. It wasn't my intention, but yes, it does make the voices a bit funny.
A fost o eroare de descărcare de pe YouTube, n-a fost intent.
Because we know the original video and we are so used with the pace and
I see.
to see everything it makes it even more theatrically.
I see.
Noi cunoaștem originalul, dar versiunea aceasta a fost și mai teatrală.
That's a consequence of my illegal YouTube downloading.
E o consecință a descărcării ilegale de pe YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, I will try to speak Romanian because my English is all...
Please do.
Ce mi s-a părut mie ridicol este că principalele două personaje prezente pe ecran, care la momentul acela erau percepute drept revoluționare, personaje revoluționare cu adevărat. Mai târziu au devenit exponenți ai establishment-ului.
Yes, it's often the way it goes.
Da, așa se întâmplă adeseori.
Și, practic, puterea și banul au pervertit 100% tot ce s-a întâmplat.
Yes. Yes.
This is one of the reasons why I am fighting a court case with my landlord in Berlin.
De aceea am un proces pe rol cu proprietarul apartamentului în Berlin.
My landlord the house which I live in was in the east of Berlin, so it was also under communism.
Proprietatea în care locuiesc e în Berlinul de Est, deci o zonă a fost comunistă.
And the property was handed back to Wolfgang, my landlord.
Și această proprietate a fost retrocedată proprietarului Wolfgang după.
And suddenly he's now about 70 years old, but suddenly he has acquired a lot of wealth.
Acum are vârsta de 70 de ani, dar dintr-o dată a acumulat foarte multă avuție.
And now he wants more wealth.
Și acum vrea să fie și mai bogat.
Even though he's driving around in a BMW,
chiar dacă conduce un BMW,
he knows that he can get 2 times the rent I pay.
El știe că ar putea obține dublul chiriei pe care eu o plătesc.
A country and a restaurant.
O țară și un restaurant, nu?
It's normal at 70 years old to feel that you want a better and healthier future.
E normal ca la 70 de ani să-ți dorești un viitor mai bun și mai sănătos.
And wealthier.
Și mai bogat, de asemenea.
I thought I'd play it right at the very end as a.
Ați mai pregătit un filmuleț? De ce ați decis să nu-l
Should I
puneți?
play it now?
Ar trebui să-l pun acum?
Well, maybe I'll play it. It's another little 2-minute section from that time.
Este o secțiune tot de 2 minute din acele vremuri.
And
Poate ne poți spune de ce l-ai ales.
Because I think for all of us growing up in the 20th and 21st century, watching state media, you always consume it. It's kind of like the Bible. It has power and authority, doesn't it? State media. That's true in Britain, in Germany, and in Romania. And when people take it over, it's a disturbing and wonderful thing, like someone's throwing all the cards up in the air.
Pentru noi toți care am crescut în secolul 20 și secolul 21 cu televiziune de stat, după ce o preia altcineva, e ca și cum ar arunca toate cărțile de joc în sus.
And from my point of view, from our point of view, it's a very it's very emotional to watch footage from that time.
Și pentru noi este emoționant să urmărim imagini din acele vremuri.
But our point of view is already changing now with this knowledge of what these people have become 30 years later.
Dar punctul nostru de vedere se schimbă știind acum ce au devenit acești oameni după 30 de ani.
So let's just watch this. It's just 2 minutes.
Haideți să urmărim. Durează doar 2 minute.
Nu se poate, nu ne vine să credem că acest Sfânt Crăciun suntem cu toții atât de strâns legați cum n-am fost niciodată în viața noastră. Este o minune. Noi nu ne dăm seama, am dorit toți să venim aici să vă spunem, iubiții noștri, concetățeni, iubiților noștri, prieteni, ai noștri spectatori care ne-ați... Numai un pic că sunt emoționat. Să vă mulțumim vouă celor de la televiziune, ostașilor, mamelor, copiilor la care ne gândim, care sunt și copiii noștri. Să vă spunem că în clipa aceasta sufletul nostru, tot sufletul nostru, tot trupul nostru, tot ce avem noi mai sfânt și mai bun, e la dumneavoastră, al acestei minunate țări spre care până la urmă Dumnezeu s-a aplicat și suntem cu toții înfrățiți în ceva care nu se mai poate spune. Vă rog să mă iertați, sunt atât de copleșit de emoții, de bucurie, că vă simt aici, că suntem cu toții aici împreună, încât nu pot să... Eu care atât de ușor aș vrea să vă spun 1000 de lucruri, dar știu că vine timpul când fiecare o să putem să spunem, să ne desfășurăm, să ne punem sufletul de palmă în fața dumneavoastră. Eu am luat de acasă ceva simbolic am luat, o inimioară roșie.
Who is he? Who is that guy?
Cine e tipul din...
Yes.
Because I'm an actor and I don't talk too much, the actors. In fact, sorry, personajul este arhivul nostru. The character is world famous. Este un actor cunoscut, dar care n-a mai jucat de câteva zile. Multe filme istoric naționaliste. Dar aș vrea să remarc un lucru. În afară de faptul că el, ca de obicei, se pune prin plan pe el însuși, indiferent despre ce e vorba. A existat un moment atunci de care mă aduc aminte. Și a existat o emoție reală, chiar dacă acum mi se pare ridicolă. Probabil că dacă n-ar fi fost el, nu ar fi fost așa de ridicolă. Pe două... Aici s-a cântat un colin. La televiziunea română. Și eu mă aduc aminte că pe 25 decembrie 1989, când m-am trezit dimineața și am deschis radio-ul, aveam un radio la capul patului, pe care deschideam întotdeauna dimineața. Primul lucru pe care l-am auzit a fost un colin. Aveam 21 de ani jumate, cam așa. Și am început să plâng. Dar nu am lăcrimat, am plâns foarte puternic. Pentru că noi până atunci, până în 25 decembrie 1989, nu am auzit niciodată la radio sau la televiziune un colin. Niciodată în viață. Nu s-a transmis așa ceva. Iar cei care au cântat atunci, pentru prima oară în viață, în afara casei proprii sau au putut să o facă în public. A fost o descăpășare de emoție reală. Care, ca și în alte lucruri, mai mult sau mai puțin artistice, pot fi prezentate, dar care sunt pervertite și stricate de unul sau altul care încep să le explice și să le povestească după aceea, să le vorbească.
Thanks for explaining that.
Mulțumim pentru că ați explicat.
It's amazing. Yeah, I think this is a lot of what we're doing in Gob Squad is mixing up a private thing and a public thing, and you know, exploring what happens in a private world and putting it out onto the street and the other way around. And there's a lot of power in media, in art and in public life when you can shift the context of a simple everyday thing like singing.
Și noi în Gob Squad combinăm ce se întâmplă în viața privată cu ce se întâmplă în viața publică și apar adeseori aceste sentimente atunci când punem în spațiul public ceva ce se întâmplă în privat și viceversa.
Am fost în primăvara asta în Franța și am participat la o demonstrație a jachetelor verdes. Și am simțit, mi-am dat seama, i-am văzut de aproape, erau cei mai necăjiți, pătura cea mai amărâtă din societate. Revoluțiile le fac, am înțeles încă o dată.
Can you see the translation loud as well? Okay.
Revoluțiile nu le fac decât cei care nu mai au de pierdut decât lanțurile.
That revolutions are created by those that don't have anything else to lose but their chains.
Yes. No, it's good to have a reminder of that, definitely.
Da, e binevenit o astfel de remarcă. When there's a show, it might happen differently.
I think what is interesting with Revolution now, that was made in 2010, that uses a lot of leftist vocabulary, not completely, but a lot of it. The language, actually, the time that we performed it in Norway, it was the day after the referendum for Brexit in the United Kingdom.
Ce este interesant cu Revolution Now din 2010, care folosește foarte mult vocabular de stânga, nu numai vocabular de stânga, dar foarte mult, atunci când l-am jucat în Norvegia, l-am jucat a doua zi după referendumul pentru Brexit.
And interestingly, a lot of the language that was used to motivate people in Brexit was also the same kind of language, a revolution. It was a language of the people, and it was very much based on an emotional drive. And I think that's a shift that we have experienced in the time that we're in now, that all the traditional boundaries of left and right, nationalist, neoliberal, global politics, all the languages have collapsed and are now finding new friends, if you like. So it's a particularly disorientating moment that we are in. I know I've spoken a little bit to people in Romania in the last couple of days that I've been here. We are from Britain, where we are also experiencing a great moment of disorientation, and of course it's happening in a lot of places in the world.
O mare parte din vocabularul folosit a fost folosit și pentru a-i motiva pe britanici să meargă la referendum și să voteze. Și ei, când au folosit acel limbaj, au pulsat mult pe partea emoțională. Iar în prezent observăm că vocabularul ce se învârte în jurul stângii, dreptei, globalizării, discursului naționalist sau antinaționalist, acum a fuzionat și ne aflăm într-un moment istoric diferit. Am discutat cu oameni din România și am simțit acest puls, am discutat și cu conaționali de-ai mei acum în pragul Brexitului și am simțit același puls.
Wow, I think that's all we've got time for.
Cred că nu mai avem timp de alte întrebări.
Thanks for coming, and we're happy to talk more informally as we pack up.
Vă mulțumim că ați venit și suntem deschiși să discutăm și informal când ne strângem lucrurile.
Yes, where is the vodka?
Unde-i vodka?
You're buying it.
Dumneavoastră o plătiți.